Hello people, Aaron here and welcome to a brand new episode for the Tactics and Guide series on the FMScout YouTube channel. Now in this video I'm going to be showing you how to set up counter-attacking football style. A lot of people have been asking to set this up on the channel because they're struggling, especially against the bigger teams. If they're a team like, I don't know, Colchester or Wellstone or someone like that, they're in the FA Cup and they're playing someone like Manchester City or Chelsea, they're finding it very hard to get a decent result. Or even if they're a Premier League team and one of the teams that are expected to go down and they're coming up against Chelsea, City, United, Arsenal, one of the bigger clubs, they're kind of struggling a little bit. I want to know how to do some counter-attacking football. Now, I do watch some FM YouTubers, and some people do struggle when they go into a match and they get beat 6-0. And I think to myself, why on earth have you gone in like that, tried to play attacking football against Real Madrid, and you've just been battered 6-0? You should have used counter-attacking football. When I read a couple of blogs as well on the FMScout website, and I see people getting absolutely battered on Football Manager 2016, I can't help but feel, to say, why didn't you use counter-attacking football? You should have just hit them on the counter-attack. I think people do struggle to set it up right, so what I'm going to do is show you the mentality, the team shape, the team instructions, and the individual player instructions as well. So, the mentality is, of course, going to be counter. This mentality is best employed for matches in which you expect to lose the battle for possession, but you feel you can break with some regularity. It aims to keep men behind the ball when defending, but to provide quick support to the attacking players when the ball is in the final third. It relies on getting the ball forward quickly enough to expose spaces behind aggressive fullbacks and wingers, with players tending to stay deeper and maintain defensive shape in the break, if the break looks like coming to nothing. So, having read that, this is how we're going to do it. Now, the team shape is going to be highly structured. You want everybody to be staying in their position. You don't want to be leaving little gaps for the opposition to expose. Now, if you came up against a team set up like this, no matter which team it is, you're going to find it hard to break them down. Reason being is because you've got your flat back four, you've got your two players just in front of the back four, and you've got two defensive wingers as well. So if you're going to come through the middle, you're going to struggle. There's 5 players there to get past. If you're going to use wingers, they're going to struggle because you've got 2 players to get past there. So it's highly structured, and the team instructions is going to look a little bit like this. Higher tempo. As soon as you get that ball, as soon as you win it back, you want to get that ball up as fast as you can to the striker, to the wingers, and you're going to get yourself a couple of goals. You don't want to be pissing about with it, playing nice little passes, little tricks, little flicks, all that kind of stuff. You want to get the ball up as quick as you can, hit the team on the counter-attack and try and get yourself a goal. Time wasting occasionally, because if you're trying to get a draw maybe, and you're playing against a bigger team, you do want to time waste just a little bit. You don't want to do it all the time. You don't want to be running to the corner flag after 35 seconds because you'll look a little bit silly. But occasionally, that's not bad to do. Width, you want to play quite wide, because if you're going to hit on the counter-attack, you want to try and get the ball wide to your quick wingers who can get it up fast and supply your striker. You want to drop deeper. You don't want to be pushed too far up, because they can just hit a ball over the top, and if a striker breaks the offside trap, it's going to be on a one-on-one with your keeper, and he might score. Now, closing down, this is very, very important for this tactic to work. You want to put it on much less, and the reason being, put it on much less, you're going to keep the team shape. If you put it on a lot of pressing, your centre-back is going to run out of position. You're going to leave a gap there, and the opposition team can expose that gap, and they'll create a scoring opportunity. Same with the fullback. If the fullback comes across to close someone down, you're going to leave a gap there. The opposition winger can get into this area, whip it into the box, and again, create a goal-scoring opportunity. So you want to keep it on closed down less. You want the back four to stay as the back four. You don't want them coming out of position. Same with these 2 defensive central midfielders and the 3 midfielders as well. You want to try and keep the team shape as much as you can. We'll go back to instructions. Now, prevent goalkeeper distributing it sharp. Not really bothered about that. Use tighter marking. I'd leave that unticked too. Because if your centre-back is marking a striker and is a complete striker or a trequartista and he decides to come over a little bit, then this centre-back is going to follow him. Again, leaving a little bit of a gap for the opposition team to expose. So you don't want to be doing tight marking. You don't want to be doing it too much, because if one of their players decides to go for a little bit of a wonder, or he decides to go over here, this centre-back is going to follow him, and you've left a gap again, and you're going to concede a goal. So this is all about keeping the team shape and not pressing. Now, you want to stay on your feet when you're tackling, because if one of your players dives into a tackle and he screws it up, then it's going to take him a couple of seconds to get back up, and by that time the striker or winger has got away from him, can shoot, cross it in, and you're going to concede. Now, with the build-up play, just as important as the defensive line and pressing and closing down, so on and so on. With the build-up play, as soon as you get the ball, you want to clear it to your flanks. because these are going to be your two quick wingers. They can then run up the pitch as quick as they can, get it into the box, and hopefully your striker will get yourself a goal. Now, you want to pass into space as well, because if you pass it to feet, the winger has got to wait for the ball to come to his feet. If you pass it in front of him, then he can sprint forward. By the time the ball's forward, by the time he's forward, they can connect at the right time, and it just gets the ball quicker up the field. More direct passing. Again, you're trying to hit on the counter-attack. You don't want to be doing short passes, otherwise you're not going to be able to counter-attack. Creative freedom. You want that one to be more disciplined. You want the team to do exactly as you say, exactly when you say it. Hit the early crosses, because this is all about getting the ball up fast and as quick as you can. If you look for the overlap, your wingers are going to get to, I'll just go back onto the pitch. Your winger's going to get to about here, and then he's going to wait for an overlapping fullback. You don't want to be doing that. You want him to get as forward as quick as he can, hit the early crosses in, and hopefully the opposition defenders will still be down here somewhere, and you got yourself a goal. Now, I'm going to go for low crosses. The reason being is because low crosses get across the ground a lot quicker. If you whip it in, that can take a little bit of time because there might be a bit of a bend on the ball. If you dink it in the air, it's got to get up, it's got to get down, and that's going to take time. So if you hit it low, hit it hard, it's going to get across the floor a lot quicker. Now, with dribbling, you want to run at defence. That is for the wingers to get the ball and just sprint with it. And you want your players to stick to the positions. Again, you don't want to be leaving little gaps for the opposition team to exploit. Now, with the player roles, I'll start from the back. You've got your goalkeeper, who's just going to be on defend. You've got your two limited fullbacks. The reason I've put them in limited, because you don't want them to be getting involved with the build-up play of the counter-attack. Their job is just to literally keep the back four as a back four. You don't want them pushing forward, because it's not a back four anymore. It's going to be a back three. And a left winger can come over here, and you've just exploited your right-hand side of the pitch. So keep them two as limited fullbacks. You've then got a limited defender set as defend. We'll just go on to that and read it. The main job of the limited defender is to stop the opposition attackers from playing and to clear the ball from danger when required. The aim is to win the ball without giving away a free kick and get it cleared safely upfield in a no-nonsense manner. So if he wins that ball, he's not going to piss about with it. He's going to look up and he's going to launch it forward. You might be able to hit the opposition team on the break, create a scoring opportunity, or even get yourself a goal. Now, next to him is the central defender cover, because the limited defender might push up just a tidgy bit, not too much to leave a gap, but you used to see Nemanja Vidic doing this. He used to do it for Manchester United. He'd push forward a little bit and put a bit of pressure, not too much to leave a gap, but just a little bit to put the striker under a bit of pressure or the advanced playmaker under a little pressure. And you can do that because you've got someone next to him who can cover. Now, I'm going to use Rio Ferdinand as an example, because Vidic and Ferdinand were a very good partnership in the Premier League, also won the Champions League as well. So with Vidic pushing up just a little bit, he knew his partner would be able to cover him in case Vidic got into a little bit of trouble. So that is why I've got them two set up like that. We've also got the anchorman, who is literally just going to sit in front of the back four and try and sweep up some through balls, anticipate some tackles, some through balls, get the ball, launch it up the top of the pitch, no nonsense manner. Some people will call that the Makelele role. The ex-Chelsea player used to be very good at that. Next to him, we've got the ball winner set as defend. Now, he is going to do a little bit of pressing, but not too much. He's going to follow the players, put a bit of pressure on them, make them force mistakes, do silly passes. They might try and take him on. He'll be able to tackle them because he's a ball winner. And because he's coming out of position every now and then, but not too much, because he's got someone covering behind him on the cover role, he'll be okay doing that. Now, with the centre mid, that is going to be a deep line playmaker. When you've not got the ball, he's going to drop back and he's going to make a three-man wall just in front of your back four, giving you a little bit more cover. Now, when you do have the ball, he's going to have the vision, the technique, the passing ability, the first touch, the composure, the concentration, and the decisions to get that ball forward as quick as he can to your striker or to your wingers. And again, hopefully, you'll get yourself a goal-scoring opportunity or a goal. Now, defensive wingers, very important. Now, the reason I've put them as defensive wingers is because if you're playing an opposition team who you think is better than you, they're going to push their fullbacks up to help out the wingers. Now, your limited defender is going to be occupied with the winger. Now, if their fullback does push up, they're going to outnumber him, so he won't be able to do a decent job. So the defensive winger will pull back, and he'll help out your fullback, meaning it's going to be 2-on-2, making it a lot easier for you to defend, and you won't concede as many goals. Now, when you do get the ball, he's going to throw himself forward as quick as he can to either try and create a scoring opportunity for himself or to set it up for the striker or the other winger, because when you do get the ball, he'll push up too, and you'll have the three players at the top of the pitch who can get it up as quick as they can and get it into the back of the net. Now, with the striker, deep line forward support. Now, the reason I do this, if I just go back on the overview, is if you're playing someone who you think is better than you, especially playing away, the opposition team will push forward and their defensive line will probably be about here where my mouse is. Now, your defensive forward will come back so he's not offside. Now, what he's going to do is drop a little bit deep, and obviously he's going to be marked by the opposition centre-back. Now, the centre-back either has to follow him and mark him wherever he goes, leaving a gap. Now, the two wingers can exploit that gap, or if the centre-back doesn't decide to mark him, the deep line forward can get the ball, turn around, and then he's got a lot of time, a lot of options to give it to the wingers, and then you're going to launch a counter-attack again. So it's all about counter-attacking mentality, being highly structured, not leaving any little gaps. As you can see, everywhere behind the halfway line is completely covered. You've got two guys on the flanks who can double up on the winger. If the fullback comes forward, your defensive winger will sort him out, and your fullback, can sort out the winger. You've got your two centre-backs who are going to be limited defender, and you've got someone who can cover him just in case he can't win the tackle. You've got your anchor man who is going to help out your back four. You've got your ball winner, again, going to help out your back four, but put a little pressure on the opposition team to try and force mistakes. You've got your deep line playmaker who is going to drop deep and make this a three-man wall. When you have got the ball, he's going to have the vision and the technique and the passing abilities to get it up forward. And then you've got your striker who is going to cause a little bit of mayhem for the two centre-backs because they've either got to mark him and follow him, and they're going to leave a couple of gaps, or they're not going to follow him. And then when you do get the ball, he can turn around because he's not being marked. He can pick out one of his wingers who are going to support him. And if you do win it pretty quick and their fullback is attacking along with the winger, they're not going to have any cover on the flanks. So if he isn't being marked and he looks up and these two bomb forward, again, you're going to create a goal-scoring opportunity. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to save this as counter-attack, and do give me 24 hours to get it onto the FMScout channel, and then you can download it yourself and give it a bit of a whirl. If you want to send me some screenshots, I'll put my Twitter account into the description of this video, and hopefully I'll get some decent feedback from it. So with the set pieces, I'm going to leave them blank for you because some people have different set piece routines, so I'm just going to leave that to you. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.